The April 6th meeting of the Building and Zoning Board of Appeals will take place now. I'd like to ask everybody to stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to ask Ms. Wilson to take the roll, please.
Mr. Mackey,
Here.
Mr. Emmons,
Here.
Ms. Glotno,
Here.
Ms. Schuler,
Should be marked as absent. Okay, to begin the meeting, I want to read a statement about the procedure here tonight.
2 minutes first.
Okay, first we'll approve some minutes of previous meetings. Ms. Wilson. We have the meeting minutes for January 5 and February 3rd and March 3rd. Which one's missing? Or are they all here?
Those are all there, yeah.
Okay, all right. Does anybody have any questions or amendments to any of the minutes? Okay, Ms. Glatno? Okay. Okay, make a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Approval of all the minutes. Okay, for the reading on the order of business, each board member has viewed the premises involved in the case. Each case will be judged on the physical situation peculiar to itself, so that in no way is a judgment rendered considered to be a general policy affecting all properties and situations elsewhere. 3 votes are required for approval. Cases will be called in order of the agenda. When your case is called, please come to the podium and give your name, including spelling and address. Also, if anyone present is interested in the case being presented and wants to be heard on that particular case, please come forward at the same time and give your name, including the spelling of your name, and the address as well. Okay, I'm going to call the first case then.
Chairman, if I may, for a moment,
Yes.
please? And I was looking at something, and I don't know that I heard you announce that because there are only 3 members
Okay,
here, if you want to do that, or I'll just keep going. Because there are
Go ahead.
there's only 3 members of the board here this evening, and not the full complement, that means you will need all 3 members to vote in favor of your proposal, all right? If there were other members here, there's obviously more people than, somebody might vote no, and if 3 voted yes, you'd have an approval. But here it needs to be unanimous. Traditionally, when that happens, we offer you the opportunity, if you wish to table the matter for this evening and come back when there's additional board members present, you're certainly welcome to do so. If you wish to do so, you should let us know now. If you wish to come back at a later time next month to handle that. If you don't do that, then that opportunity is not available later on when you present. Okay, so if anybody was interested in perhaps coming back next month, based on the fact there's only 3 of the members present here tonight, raise your hand. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and proceed with the agenda, and you'll get a chance to present your case. Okay. All right. I don't see any hands, so Mr. Chairman, the record should reflect I didn't see anybody raise their hand to wish to be tabled for the next meeting. So, Mr. Chairman, you can proceed with the agenda as presented.
thank you, Mr. Groh. The first case before us tonight is number 408-2026, Elizabeth Squire, 22979 Alexander Road. Would you please come forward to the podium?
Hi.
And first, I want you to introduce yourself, name and address. And I'll swear you in then.
Squire. Elizabeth Squire, 22979 Alexander Road.
Thank you. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Seeley, could we have the staff report on the
Sure.
case?
Thank you. This proposal is for a front porch addition. There's a variance to enlarge a non-conforming dwelling that does not conform to all setback requirements. The code does not permit. Note that the dwelling is non-conforming and that the existing side yard setback on a corner lot is 15 feet, where 25 feet is required. The second variance is an 8-foot variance for front yard setback. Code requires 50 feet. Applicant shows 42 feet. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Alexander, go ahead with your case.
Squire.
Excuse me. Squire, go ahead with your case, please.
Just looking to put in a front porch, something I can hang out on while my son plays in the front yard. Our backyard is tiny. There's like no room for anyone to play, and there's just these trees from the neighbors just shade it all. It makes it swampy. It's gross. So we use the front yard, but there's nowhere to sit because right now it's just a giant patch of dirt. So we'd like to just have a nice place out there. We plan to make it to look like the rest of the neighborhood, not stand out, just make the house look nicer in general.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Garreau, do you have anything else to add from the?
No, I don't have anything this evening to add with respect to this proposal. Were you here previously?
No.
No, you haven't been here before? Okay. All right. No, I don't have anything to add at this time. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, do you have anything else you would like to present also?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
She introduced the case, but I think she may wish to be heard.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So I met with Elizabeth. We emailed, spoke several times. She originally started out of the project was just going to be a front deck, and explained to her how decks are not permitted in the front yard. And then she didn't wish to just come to the BZBA to get a front deck. She decided, you know what, I'm going to make my front yard look nice and look like the other houses in the neighborhood, and add a roof to it so that we can sit outside during, when it's cold out or whatever. So that way you're out of the elements, and it's more of an addition to the home. Her yard is very small. She only has 113 depth of her side yard. So, or for front to back. So it's a very small yard. So anything she would like to do, front or back, she's gonna have to come before the board to be able to have use of her property. That's all I'd like to say. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'll open the meeting to the board members to ask any questions of the applicant.
Currently now have some type of front stoop or something on the front porch? Is it for a front porch?
I
is that
mean,
right? Does it say
barely.
steps?
Yeah, it's steps, and then like just I forget exactly how big it is.
Okay, but it comes out.
It comes out 6.5 feet from the house.
So you're looking to go
What's-
past that. Is that what I'm understanding? She's looking to go
Do you have
past
the
that.
packet that you could see?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it.
So she's looking to go inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
so
the
she's-
existing front porch platform. It's basically just a platform to get into her house.
Right.
Can't even put a chair there now.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
she's looking to put it to the side of it.
Yeah, not to the side where it's already like out of code with the 15 feet. On the other side of it.
And what other modifications were you planning to make to the front wall of the house?
Well, we have to take down. There's that brick facade, so we have to take that down to put in a ledger board. Planning to just redo the brick then, just to make the brick go all the way up to the top of the roof
Okay,
instead of where it ends at the windows. But that would be after the porch.
okay. All right,
I'm looking at a pic. I'm sorry. Are you through?
go ahead.
I'm looking at a picture. I don't know if you can see that or not. Is this not exist? This is what you're proposing, or
Yes.
No, it's existing. This is what you're proposing.
Yes, sir. That's AI.
Okay.
The best I could figure out how to do. That is the goal of what it would look like.
Would you have any objections if I recommended to you to put some ladders or something around the bottom of the deck so that animals or other things
Oh,
can
yeah.
crawl in?
Oh, I was trying to get that AI to do that was impossible. Yes, we were planning on doing that.
Okay.
And the steps probably look wonky on that picture too, because it didn't understand keep existing steps.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right, may I have a motion on the case, please?
I will make a motion that case number, and where did the case number go? It's on the 408-2026 be approved.
I second.
Okay, discussion, please.
In this particular case, she does have a small yard. She's really not extending much past what her existing steps are. And she's just trying to make her place more comfortable. The picture that she presents, if that's accurate, is a handsome design. So I don't think she's going to degrade the neighborhood in any way. So I would be in favor of allowing it.
Ms. Glatno?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a beautiful design, and it's what the family needs, given the certain size of the yard and condition.
Well, I agree also. The applicant did cite two other properties in the neighborhood which had original build with a front porch or had been amended to include that. And I felt that those properties were consistent, as is this one, with the neighborhood appearance. And obviously will improve the value of the property and its use. Okay, could we take a vote on this, please?
Oh, Mr. Ammons,
Yes.
Ms. Glatno,
Yes.
Mr. Mackey.
Yes. Okay, your application is approved, and you'll see the building department for your permit, for the guidance.
Now?
Tomorrow.
Anytime
I'll
this
talk to
week.
you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, the next case before us, this is number 410-2026, John Gannon, 24816 Terra Lynn Drive. Mr. Gannon, could you introduce yourself, please?
John Gannon, Gannon, 24816 Terrelyn Drive.
Okay, and thank you. Would you raise your hand and let me swear you in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Seeley, could you present your case, please?
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick point. I didn't recall hearing, did you invite anyone else who wishes to be heard?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But is there anybody else in the audience who wishes to be heard on this case? If so, please step forward.
And for the record, I think we can say that if there is a case that's called that you wish to be heard on, you should just go ahead and come right up. Nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Guerrero. Ms. Seeley?
All right, thank you. This is a project just for a new swimming pool. There's two variance requests. The first one is a 20% variance for excessive rear yard lot coverage. Co-permits up to 20%, which is 800 square feet based on a rear yard area of 4,000 square feet. Applicant shows 40%, 1,588 square feet. The second one is a 4-foot, 6-inch variance for distance of swimming pool deck to the side yard. Code requires 10 feet. Applicant shows 5 feet, 6 inches. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Seeley. Mr. Gannon, would you go ahead and present your case, please?
Sure. My family would like to extend our existing above-ground swimming pool to a 15-foot by 30-foot oval. Our existing pool, unfortunately, has just been outgrown by my family, and it's a little cramped when we try to enjoy our backyard. I think granting the approval would not negatively impact any of the neighbors' privacy, drainage issues, anything like that. I've spoken with a few neighbors adjoining when I learned of the variance that I need to request. Didn't get any pushback from them, and it appears they did not come to be heard this evening. So, we'd just like to be able to utilize our backyard a little more than we currently can with our existing structures. Additionally, in my proposal that I sent, I don't know that this counts towards the total square footage, but the shed that's on there is a temporary platform, or it's on just a temporary platform. It's a Rubbermaid shed, so it can be taken down and removed at any point if needed. and the swimming platform as well is temporary. It was purchased at the pool store. It's not permanently installed into the ground, so I don't know if those account for square footage or not. But I wanted to put everything, I'm not trying to hide anything from the board here with it. As far as the side lot variance, the side of the house that we chose to, or the side of the pool we chose to have the stairway and small deck platform, there are 6, I believe, large arborvitae trees that provide privacy to my neighbor on that side of the home. If we put it on the other side, it would look directly into our neighbor in the backyard, so we tried to make it where we're not infringing on any of our neighbors there.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Seeley, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, unfortunately, it wouldn't matter that the shed is it's still an accessory structure, and same with the pool platform. And the platform itself, needs to be a certain distance away from the lot line. I'd just like to add that the code changed back in 2021, and they did have a permit prior for the pool, but at 2021 is when they added concrete as part of the accessory structures and in the backyard to be counted as rear yard coverage. If anyone was going to ask, well, how did they get that in the past? And maybe not have to get a variance, is because concrete was not counted until 2021 in our, how we figure rear yard coverage. So it's I don't really have anything else to add. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Garreau, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, sir. No, not at this time.
Mr. Gannon, is there anything further you wish to tell us at this time?
I think I covered everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this time, I'd like to open the floor, board members, to ask questions of the applicant, if they have any.
I'd like to actually ask Ms. Seeley a question real quick.
Sure.
Is it your, are you saying that it would, this is, assume from the square footage, okay, we're gonna bypass that. I'm just talking about the positioning of the pool at the moment. If that pool was shifted, or if the accessory structure, the deck and so forth, was switched to the other side, would this pool be in compliance?
The location, yes. Yeah, it's too close to the side lot line with the deck on the side of it.
Okay, but
But
the
the
pool
deck-
itself isn't, the pool
The
itself
pool,
is always the deck.
but the code says the pool and any structures associated with the pool need to be 10 feet. So since it's gaining access into the pool, it's considered part of the pool. But if the structure was moved to be zoning compliant, then they wouldn't need the variance for that side.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you make it a little clearer why you made a statement about why you couldn't switch the deck from one side to the other? What can you make that a little clearer to me?
Sure. It could be moved, but where it would be located then on the other side, it would overlook into the neighbor behind us. And there's no other, we do have a 6-foot privacy fence, but going up onto the platform, we stand above that privacy fence then, and we peer right into their yard. And then same if we're sitting up there, they have a full view of us sitting up there. And initially when the pool was put in, we just had a stairway going into the pool, and then wanted to be able to sit up with the children, so that was added later. And that was the best location at the time to have it.
So we're choosing that location because of the privacy the landscaping offers?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the already existing landscaping's there to prevent us from peering in on neighbors.
I have no questions of the applicant. Could I have a motion, please, in a second?
I'd like to make a motion. Where'd my numbers go again? Oh, here they are, sorry. A motion that case number 410-2026, John Gannon, at 24816 Terra Lynn, be approved.
I second.
Okay, discussion?
I'm going to go with the first, I guess, the the 20%, that, you know, the concrete was sort of put in in a way that in between, and he couldn't help it, what's going on with that. Put that in, that was obviously put in legally through a permit, a variance at that time.
Yes.
So there's nothing that we can do about that now, and we wouldn't be here even talking about it if you hadn't tried to pull a second permit on us. So I'm gonna say, you know, that's something that I'm gonna be willing to overlook in this particular case because of that situation. Just happens to be his particular situation. The variance for the swimming pool is a few feet. I understand what he's saying. You know, he wants a little bit more privacy for his family, and it just happens to be a natural facade for his area that he wants to use. And so I'm not really having a problem with that being in this area and in the yard where he's at. He's still got enough yard to maneuver around in, and that his family enjoy the yard a little bit. You know, if we asked him to move the pool or move the decking, it would take away from, basically take away, it would make some, in my opinion, it would make that section of the yard, that area of the yard unusable. It would just sort of shrink his yard a little bit. So I have I really don't have any objections to what he's saying at the moment.
Okay, thank you. Sklatno?
It makes sense to work with the same space where the existing pool already is, and he seems to be mindful of the neighbors.
Well, I concur. He's making an investment to further upgrade his property for his family. It's a good thing for the neighborhood. So I support it. Okay, could we have a vote on the
Miss-
issue?
Mr. Ammons?
Yes.
Ms. Glotno?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey?
Yes. Okay, sir, your vote has passed, and you can see the building department for further permitting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next case up is number 412-2026. Wazim Tarsha of 5500 Bradley Road. And if anybody else who wishes to speak, please come to the podium at this time.
Hello, Wasim Tarsha, 500 Bradley Road.
Okay, and Miss, are you,
Majd Alhena, his wife, 5500 Bradley Road, North Olmsted.
thank you. And sir, are you going to be speaking tonight?
If I have to,
Please introduce yourself to us.
my name is Deeb Korala, Kirallallah,
And your address, sir.
30661 Center Ridge Road, Westlake.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Seeley, could you introduce the case,
Sure.
please?
Thank you. This is a proposal consists of a driveway, one variance requested variance for a second driveway curb cut. Code permits one driveway curb cut per residential lot. Applicant shows two. Thank you.
Hey, sir, could you go ahead with your presentation then?
Sure. The reason why we're asking to have a horseshoe
Excuse me,
shaped
Mr.
driveway.
Chairman.
Yes.
Did you swear the witnesses in?
Oh, I forgot. Thank you. If I may, sir, please, everybody raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, the reason we're asking to have a horseshoe shape a driveway is for number one is safety. On one side of the driveway, there's the Bradley Woods, and it's very hard to back up without like getting all the way out where the apron is to be able to see, you know, the side of the road.
Right.
I feel like having the car, like the vehicle facing the exit, that will be so much easier to get out and more safe for everyone. Number two, which is more important, is I have a handicap. Mother lives with me in the house. She has in-home primary care, which involve big vans. They come for blood work, x-ray, ultrasound, all that stuff, and it's a regular basis most of the time. Also a caregiver who comes to the house and take care of her when I'm busy. That's involved lots of visits. My sisters, they come and help me. I mean, we have 3 vehicles to start with, and then with the the primary home care and all that, and I feel like it's gonna be too much where can you move your car? I need to get up, and in the rush hour, it's very hard. We tried, and I mean, I don't feel like comfortable most of the time backing up with my little girl sitting in the back seat, my mom, with her Parkinson, lots of time she fell, and then we have to call the fire department to come and pick her up. When she needs to go to the hospital, that's involved an ambulance as well. I feel having the curve right in front of the entrance will be so much easier for us, her, and whoever is going to come and take her to the hospital or come and help us with her at the house as well. Then that's my biggest thing, safety, and then having my mom living with me with handicap issue.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Do any of the other witnesses have anything to add at this time?
No, actually, but just you said that is like the entrance door is like more easy to moving for my mother-in-law, in and out for she can't walk easy.
Okay.
That just sucks if wanna like to take her other side like that will be too much for her, or through the garage. If I wanna park my two vans there, nobody can get there easy. You know what I mean? Actually, if my wife she wanna like parking inside the garage, she can back out because my cars will be locked in there. And funny stuff for when the snow, that's if I wanna go like wider, 24-foot driveway, it's not easy to clean it from the snow. I have 12 feet around. That's more easy for me with the shovel the snow on one side.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Seeley, do you have something further to add?
Yes, so I did have the engineering department take a look at it because I noticed there was some sort of storm sewer. There was a manhole cover right in the front yard. So I had them look at it, and there were stipulations that if it is approved, the drive and apron must be centered between the light pole and the storm manhole, and the drive and apron must be constructed to city standards. The sidewalk that's currently there will need to be removed because it needs to be 6 inches, where a sidewalk now is only 4 inches. So if it does get approved, they do need to be able to follow these directions. The contractor needs to be registered, pull a permit, get pre-pour inspection. Neither their submittal did not show any sort of walkway to the front door. So if there is going to be a walkway to the front door, like you said, to get you'll need to put that on the construction drawings.
Sure.
For the driveway. But I have nothing else to add. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Groh, do you have anything to add, sir?
Thank you, sir. Not at this time.
Okay. Do you have anything further to add?
No, not really.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay, do any of the interested parties have anything to add?
You want to add anything?
Do you have anything to add, sir? Please step.
And I'm helping her out to do the driveways because I do a lot of concrete and asphalt. It'd be a nice driveway for her and my sister and the whole crew.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, board members, any questions for the applicants?
I guess first of all, actually, did you understand what Ms. Seeley said about the
Yeah,
positioning,
it has to be-
placement, and what needs to be replaced and how it needs to be replaced?
Yeah,
And
like
your
there's some coding we have to follow, and I know the sanitary drain is there. We saw that too, and then the driveway, the sidewalk, it has to be changed and all that. Yeah.
So you're aware of that. That'll have to be taken care of as
That's
part
why
of
he's with us too.
a part of the project.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything further, Mr. Hammonds?
I have nothing further at the moment.
Ms. Galatno?
No, Miss Seeley answered my question about the driveway and the front walk.
And I have no questions. May I have a motion and a second, please?
I'd like to make a motion on case number 412-2026, Wasim Tarsha, sorry, I didn't want to butcher your name, 5500 Bradley Road, be approved.
I second.
Thank you. A discussion, please.
It does, in my opinion, it comes, it borderlines on whether was gonna approve, vote with this or against it, but we're taking up a lot of the front yard. We are clearly, using, making a space that, or making a second cut that is not normal for our purposes and for the city. But as we have a medical condition and we want to try and treat our residents, I think, in some way that we can make their lives easier. I think I would be in favor of this particular case, where some of them I may not, but this one I might be because of their particular situation.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Glatno.
So as it stands, would that still fall under the 20% coverage? Even if we increase the sidewalk,
That's only in the backyard.
that only applies to the backyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something for a parking pad in your front yard, but nothing that states anything about a second curb cut, just that it's not allowed. Because it's only one curb cut per residential lot is permitted. It doesn't talk about, except if, like I said, if you have a parking pad, doesn't go into the code, doesn't go anything more into how much you can cover in your front yard with two curb cuts is not mentioned.
Is this something that's ever come in front of the board before?
Yes, we've had additional driveway cuts come before the board. In particular cases where there is heavy traffic volume and obstruction of view issues, or also on corner lots where there are obstruction issues also at times. So yes, it has come before the board in the past.
We had one on Mill.
We did the new construction, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree, it's busy and I drive down Bradley a lot, so I would think that it's hard to come out of the driveway, and given the medical condition, then I would be in favor.
I myself, if it were not for the fact that the Bradley Woods Forest borders the property and does obstruct the view, had that been a wide open space, I might have recommended a parking pad in the front of the house for a turnaround purpose. But they do have a special needs resident in the home, and if that person needs the services of an ambulance, those are bigger vehicles and they need adequate turn radius areas, and so I'm in favor of providing this variance. Ms. Wilson, can we take a vote, please?
Mr. Ammons?
Yes.
Ms. Glatno?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey?
Yes. Okay, your application has been approved. Please work with the building department for permitting. Thank you. Now, the next case before us is number 413-2026. Frank Savarino, 4531 Columbia Road. Would anybody wishing to speak on this case please step forward? Mr. Savarino, could you introduce yourself to the board, please?
Sure. My name's Frank Savarino, 4531 Columbia Road.
And may I also have the other witness, please?
My name is Rebecca Weisenthal. I am the designer for the Savarinos. I live at 10106 Baltic Road, Cleveland, Ohio.
Thank you. Let me swear you in before we proceed. Please raise your right hand. You tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, please, Ms. Seeley, would you please introduce the case?
Thank you. This proposal consists of a new detached garage and a swimming pool. Two variance requests. First one is 120 square foot variance for area of private garage. Code permits 750 square feet. Applicant shows 875 square feet. The proposed detached garage is 25 feet by 35 feet. Their lot size is 29,630 square feet, 0.67 acre. The second variance is to allow an accessory structure or swimming pool to be in the side yard of a residential lot. Code permits an accessory structure swimming pool to be in the rear lot applicant shows it in the side. Thank you.
Okay, sir, would you please present your case?
Sure, at this time, to save you all the trouble of me rambling on too much, I'd like to turn the mic over to Ms. Weisenthal. Here.
Okay, thank you.
The drawings we presented to the board show the big picture of what the Savarinos would like to do. They have an existing house. They would like to put an addition that connects their existing detached garage with the main house. And because they're turning that garage into a future pool house, they want to build a detached garage in the rear yard. And on the site plan, we've also showed a future desire to put a pool in the side yard. The purpose of the garage, and that's one of our variances we're asking for, being 125 feet bigger. The reason for that, Savarinos would like in the future to put their boat in the garage. They want to be able to hide that, cover it, and they also want to be able to put all their equipment for their large property, for mowing the grass, taking care of it in the garage. Frank, do you want to add any other reasons for the bigger garage?
Yeah, pertaining to the size of the garage, when I was corresponding with the company that is going to be doing the work, erecting it, originally I wanted a garage size of, I believe it was 24 by 32 feet. But because of the type of construction and because of the type of building that it is, they made it clear to me that it is more cost effective to build it in 5-foot increments. So that's why I bumped it up to 25 by 35.
Okay.
Should we talk about the variances separately, or should I go on to talk about the pool?
You can talk about the overall picture, and then we'll
Okay.
get to the variances later on.
So as you can see from the drawing, we're proposing a new asphalt drive back to the new garage, a concrete pad in front of the garage. We are proposing a pool which will be off the side of this addition, and it's going to be nice for the Savarinos to be able to watch their grandkids in the pool from their new family room addition. The other nice thing about having the pool in the side yard, it leaves the rear yard natural, open. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be nice to play in. The neighboring house to the south, it is still in front of where we're proposing the pool, so we feel that it's not going to be an eyesore for those folks. And then they've also provided some letters stating that they are okay with our plans to put the pool in that side yard.
It seems to me that it became the side yard once we decided to put the addition on the house, right? I mean,
Yes.
without the adding on to the proposed family room, the pool in its current location that we have shown would have been in the rear of the house. I don't know if that's what you consider the rear yard to be, but it would have been to the rear of the house. And like Rebecca had mentioned, it is still to the rear of our neighbors' homes. So we're not trying to squeeze a pool in between the two dwellings, in other words. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on the pool.
Okay, now, as to the specific variances, did you want to discuss that?
Well, the first one was to have a garage that was 125 square feet bigger than the allowed square footage, and Frank stated the reasons. We want a boat inside. We have a lot of equipment for this large lot. So those are the reasons for the garage. And the pool, the reasons, the visibility from the house is great, putting it at the side.
Or back here, just with
Yeah,
worked out
and
is good.
we wanted to leave that rear yard open, natural open space.
Okay,
In terms of both variances, I don't, you guys are probably not aware, but just recently we had consolidated the two properties that we own there, which have created a larger space. So it's not like we're trying to cram, in my opinion, I don't feel like we're trying to cram all of this stuff into a small yard. In terms of the garage that we're requesting, being 125 feet larger than a normal or an allowed garage, detached garage, it's still not going to look by any means like it's out of place. You know, we're trying to fill in the portions of the property to make it look uniform, if you will. Yeah, and the pool again, I've confronted both of our neighbors to the north and to the south of us with this current proposed site plan, and they're both very supportive. And you may have a copy of the letters that they had written on our behalf.
yes, we do, sir. It's in our information packets. Okay, do you have anything further to add before I ask the city for comment?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Seeley,
Oh, thank you. I'd like to add that I did sit down with both of them, and we met in the conference room and went over their plan, and that's when we discussed the needs for the two variances. And I'd like to also point out they don't even have a shed in their yard, so really if they had a shed in the garage at some size, it would probably be the same size as that, so they're really not taking up any more rear yard by just having a larger garage. We just discussed the options of the pool, possibly moving it to be zoning compliant, but I do get what he's saying too about had he not added on to his house, to the garage, it would still be in the backyard. And it is behind the home, so we don't have any objections on any of the placements for either of those in the building department. Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Grow, any comment?
Thank you, sir. Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything further to add at this time, please? Okay. Thank you. All right, I'd like to open it up for questions from board members to either you or to city officials, please.
I don't have any questions.
The only question I had was, sorry, the pool, is there gonna be any attempt made to conceal that from the street view of the property? Or is that gonna be able to be seen from the street?
Currently there is a hedgerow that isn't on this drawing. That if you look at where the proposed new metal or wrought iron looking fence is going to go across, excuse me, the property, the lot there, probably about 30 feet in front of that, there is a hedgerow. In addition to that, my intentions are to landscape with heavy landscaping in front of that wrought iron fence as well.
Okay.
To kind of, make it more private for us using the pool and for those people, driving by looking into the pool area.
So you have some intention of just trying to conceal the pool from the street view of people looking in and that kind of stuff. It's just not part of what your plan is right here, but you
Yes, correct.
plan on doing that. Okay.
There is some in place right now, again, with the hedge in place right now. My intentions are to eventually remove the hedge and go with the new landscaping. The hedge is old. You pretty much have an idea what an old hedge looks like. It grows, there's a lot of dead wood in it. However, it does fill in nicely right now. But the larger it gets, the more cumbersome it becomes to maintain in terms of trimming it. So again, my intentions are to replace the hedge eventually with heavier landscaping, bushes, shrubs, grasses.
So, intention and
Show them on future
eventually,
drawings. We will
does that
definitely-
mean you're gonna do something this year or next year?
If
5
the
years from now?
if the board would like to put a time frame on the landscaping, I would be comfortable with that.
I just want to find out what your intent, what some people will say intention is, and then intentions are great, but they don't always follow through with them, so.
Well, again, currently, there is a hedge in the front that makes it hard to see the pool when the hedge is in foliage, if you will. And, in the season. I will get rid of the hedge at one point, possibly, the same time we do the pool, maybe a year after. I want to get rid of the hedge and replace it with newer, fresher looking landscape.
Thank you, I have nothing more.
Okay, I'm just looking at the drawing, and it appears to be complete. I do note that you have an existing a 6-foot wood fence, 6-foot high wood fence along the lot lines to the adjoining properties, and also with the addition of the black metal fence, the wrought iron fence, that will comprise your security perimeter for access to the pool. Is that correct?
That was my intention.
Okay, and that will be part of the permitting process. Okay, very good. Any further questions anybody have? Okay, may I have a motion then, please?
I'll make a motion that case number 413-2026 Frank Savarino at 4531 Columbia Road be approved.
I second.
Okay, anybody have a discussion, please?
I think it's a sizable project, and it seems like they've been working hand in hand with the appropriate contractors and the city. I think given this is all backing different properties, so it's not gonna interfere with anybody's view or daily lifestyles in their backyards, so I would be in favor.
Mr. Evans?
I have no comment. I agree with everything that was said.
Well, I see that, you've spent a considerable amount of time in planning, consolidating the two parcels to begin with, so that you do have legally combined space to work with. And you've taken notice of the neighbors' positioning of their home and the pool in relationship to your home, and the city's regulations to have the pool behind or to the rear of a house. And also repurposing the current independent garage shows a lot of thinking about how you're going to be using the space. I took a good look at the property from the street, and I felt that what you're proposing is really a major upgrade to your property, and beneficial to your property and your neighbors. And they did include letters of support, and they are of record. So I support this. Can we take a vote, please? Wilson?
Mr. Ammons?
Yes.
Ms. Glatno?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey?
Yes. Okay, if you'll proceed to complete your project with the building department.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, the next case before us is number 414-2026 Diamond Signs, 25070 Country Club Boulevard.
Good evening. My name is Zach Hennessy, Z-A-K, Hennessey, and I am here for the location of 25070 Country Club Boulevard, Paradise Indian Cuisine. I'm representing Diamond Signs and Graphics and Paradise Indian Cuisine.
Okay. Could I swear you in, please?
You may.
Okay, thank you. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Seeley, could we have the city's introduction?
I'll do this one.
Are you going to do this one? Okay, Ms. Wilson?
This is a proposal that's consists of new restaurant signage. It is zoned mixed use A. There are three variances that are requested. The first being a 32 square foot variance for wall sign area. I'll explain that one in a minute. A variance of 1 ground sign, code permits 2 if total street frontage is in excess of 600 feet. Applicant is requesting 1 additional for a total of 3. And a variance of 178 feet between 2 ground signs, code requires signs are separated by a minimum of 200 feet. Applicant shows 22. The variance for the wall sign area, because this is attached in part of the hotel of the Holiday Inn, they had gone for a variance in December for wall sign area that was granted with a total of 162.54 square feet. So with this additional 32, it would be 194.54 square feet for total sign area for primary facade.
Okay, sir, go ahead and present your case, please.
Okay. I believe I see that you all have a copy of our our packet right here, with the information. On the first page, it describes that we have a front lit channel letters on a raceway plus a sign cloud and double-sided illuminated ground sign that's going to be going up on the side of the road. On the very first page of the document, you will see that there's a parcel of land that these signs will go on. The 2 blue arrows point to the first one on the left points to where the sign will appear on the road, and the second is where the sign will appear on the side of the building. There is another existing sign here, and that's why we're asking for the variance. That sign advertises businesses farther down the road that are not on this parcel of land, and the prime spot for us to have a sign would be on that corner to let people know of the Indian restaurant that is located on that parcel and the road on which to turn. On the following page, this presents the measurements of the building and distance of the ground sign in relation to the street, the right-of-way, and existing sign, which advertises businesses farther down the county boulevard, which I mentioned, or country boulevard, which I've mentioned. In the lower right-hand corner, the orange line is the sign we're proposing, and it shows that it is the distance it is from the sidewalk and from the street. And the light blue sign lower down is the sign that's already existing right there. If we get it too far away from there, it doesn't really tell people, where Paradise is going to be. The next page, page 4, the building sign is composed of channel letters and a cloud sign. The blue text will be white at night. So during the day, it'll be that vibrant blue color, but it's a perforated material. So the light behind it will show through at nighttime, and it will show as white. The measurements for the sign are above, and there's the technical information's down the left side. The next page presents an isometric view of the building sign along with mounted and shop drawings. So this also shows how it will be attached to the wall. There are some standard diagrams here for these kinds of signs, and the measurements appear as well above and below. On the following page is the street sign. I'm sorry, the ground sign. This is the ground sign that will be advertising Paradise Indian Cuisine, and it's critical to the restaurant's success to have it located in a position that people driving by can see it. At night, the face will be illuminated as shown in the lower right-hand corner, and the measurements are above. On the following page, page 7, presents a side view of the sign along with dimensions. The sign will be sleeved over a post that will be part of the brick structure. The brick structure will be built by a masonry contractor. Having the post will provide additional support beyond just attaching the sign to the stone cap. So that also shows the measurements and dimensions of the sign that we are proposing. And the final page of the packet shows other signs in the area in comparison to what we are proposing.
Ms. Wilson, any Anything further to discuss?
Nothing new to add, thank you.
Mr. Grow, comment?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask the applicant, is there anything else you'd like to present?
I'm hoping I explained this well. If not, I'm open to questions.
Okay, thank you. Questions, board members, for the applicant or for the city?
I guess the question I have would be, you mentioned that it would be detrimental to the business if the sign wasn't there. I get, based on what study are we basing the fact that having a standalone sign versus putting the name on what's already there would make such a tremendous difference?
You mean adding the sign to the existing, adding a new?
Yeah, just adding the name to what's already there versus the business having its standalone bigger. I understand it's gonna jump out at like people driving by, but like, is it gonna make that big of a difference into driving people in?
The primary reason we would want the sign there is for people to know that it exists, since it is a new restaurant there, and it's very hard to see from the street that it is there. I am not familiar with the space of it. I guess there is space available on that sign.
Yeah, I guess that's the question. Like, adding the name here versus adding another structure next to it, would it make that significant of
I
a
don't-
difference in the business?
I believe those are two different parcels of land, and the sign at the very top is advertising something farther up the road. So people may get confused and think the sign is at that location instead of in the parcel of land where the signage is. Because that big tall sign, that's not, none of that is there, it's farther up. And I'm not sure who owns that sign or what they would be open to doing.
So explain to me again real quick, just because I'm having trouble sort of deciphering. You want 3 signs.
Oh, no, 2 signs. The first would be the sign off the side of the road. It's a double-sided sign, and it's got the masonry foundation with the blue and yellow sign on it. The second, the page that shows the property right here, that's the second sign, and that's farther in. As you can see, it's currently under construction. The new paint job that they're going to put over it once they're done building it should match the light gray and the blue that's above it. And then if you turn to the next page, it shows the sign, how the sign would look once the paint is and the construction is done, but it's just the 2 signs.
And that wouldn't be visible enough?
The sign could potentially be visible enough. It's off the road a bit, but the entrance to how they get to the location, I believe, is where the need for that other sign comes in.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm getting it more.
Now, let me ask you, how did you determine the exact sighting for that sign and its size? What did you consider when you were proposing this?
Which one are we talking about, the ground sign or the wall sign? Or
The ground sign.
ground sign?
Yeah. I understand that it's, not that far from the corner where you have a multi-panel sign for businesses to identify themselves. So, I'm just wondering, how you came up with the idea of placing the sign in the location you're recommending and the size of it.
Okay, the location, on the first page, it shows the parcel that the land is on, and that corner right there is ideal for a sign. It's gonna be, cost the customer a considerable amount of money, so he wanted it somewhere that maximum number of people can see it from, approaching from two different directions. That parcel, unfortunately, I don't have a clear enough picture. The site survey was done by someone else on our team, so I didn't actually go to the site myself. I'm presenting, so I apologize for not knowing specifically if there's another location, but this was determined by Mark Balin and the owner of the Indian Cuisine restaurant for what would be maximize their exposure to the public. So they decided on that size and that location. I was not a part of that discussion, so I apologize for that.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions?
Well, I guess I'm struggling, if this is an accurate rendering,
Yeah, I had the
I
same
guess
question.
I'm struggling with, you can't see the sign all the way. Unless there's enough space between the tall and the paradise sign that when driving by, they differentiate, but like the way, like,
I think,
I'm struggling with this
I-
design.
Yeah,
I think we can save that for our deliberation.
Okay.
That's what I'll recommend. But any further questions for the applicant at this time, please?
Did you mean this lower corner one right here? On this page, is the one you're talking about?
I
where you
think
see-
so.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that was added later by somebody else. They didn't have a good photo angle on that.
Okay.
This was the only photo they had. A better angle would have been farther from the side, so you can see the distance of that. of
So
the two
in
signs
driving
from-
by, there's enough space between the two that they're not smushed.
They're not like
into.
right
Okay.
on top
Okay.
of each other. Yeah, that's,
Okay.
I regret that image being put in. I'm sorry, I didn't put that
No,
in.
no, that's fine. That
Um,
explains.
But it does make it look like they're practically on top of each other. And no, as people go down the street, especially from the street, because right now we're standing like in the grass right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this sign is obscuring the sign behind it. But if we were on the street, both signs you could see at the same time, and there would be a distance between the two signs.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, could I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll make a motion that case number 414-2026 Diamond Signs, 25070 Columbia, Canterbury Country Club Boulevard, got too many C's in my life, be approved.
I second.
Okay, does anybody want to start the deliberations?
I'm seeing a sign on a building and a sign next to the driveway to get people to come into the business. I don't think that that's an unreasonable request because people, I myself, want to know how to get to it. If I'm driving down a road and I see a sign on a building somewhere, I want to know how to get in.
Right.
And so a sign, sort of near or accentuating the driveway to get into a place is not detrimental to where we're at in this neighborhood, in this area.
Right.
And he's just trying to drum up the business to himself and let people make it easier to get into his business. The sign isn't overly large. It's a little large than what we're looking for, probably, yes. But I am not going to make too much of a fuss over the sign. The fact that it's a little bit bigger than what the actual building code calls. In this particular case, once again, some I might, but in this particular case, I think that he's not making an unreasonable request. So that's where I'm.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I struggled with maybe too like overkill on the signage, but I understand the advertisement needed on the building and a way for people to know to get in. So I appreciate that one, especially when it's a new business that needs to establish clientele.
Yeah, when I viewed the photograph on page 1 of the the Great Northern Corporate Center signage. That signage, as you're driving down the street, you almost have to concentrate to read it.
Agreed.
It's a type of sign that requires your attention. Okay. The proposed signage for the restaurant, is readily visible as you're driving by from either direction. And, people who live here locally are very familiar with the intersection and the property. So it's not a problem for us, but people coming off the interstate and wanting to use that hotel and its restaurant, they need appropriate signage to direct them in. So I'm in favor of a variance to help people do that, especially at night. In the night season, when people are going out to dinner or they're returning to their hotel and they're not from this area. So I think it's of great assistance for hotels in general to have a little bit more leeway with signage because they're destinations for a lot of out-of-town people. So I'm in favor of granting the variance.
Agreed. And I think there's enough green space there to accommodate for the extra size request and still,
Yeah, that-
make it look appealing.
Yeah, the big gray sign, I've been by that 1,000 times. I bet you I haven't read it. So it blends in. It blends in too much into the background.
Right. It almost disappears, even though it's there. Okay, Ms. Wilson, could you call for a vote, please?
Mr. Ammons,
Yes.
Ms. Glatno,
Yes.
Mr. Mackey.
Yes. Okay, sir, then the motion is passed 3-0, and free to work with the building department to further pursue the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the next case is number 415-2026 Sheets at 29000 Lorraine Road. And could we have you identify yourself, sir?
Yes, I'm Anthony Coyne, and I'm a land use counsel with Sheets, and I'm here with Ellen Selly, who's been the project manager for the project
Okay,
since it
would you
started.
step up and identify yourself, ma'am, please?
Yep, Ellen Selly with Sheets, let's see, 243 Sheets Way, Claysburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay. If I could swear you both in, promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Wilson, please.
Sure. So this is obviously a new gas station, and this is for their signage. They have 4 variance requests. The first is a variance of 12.82 square feet of sign area for the ground sign. Our code permits 65 square feet, and the applicant is requesting 77.82 square feet. The second variance is a variance of 2 feet in height for ground sign. Code permits 8 feet. Applicant requests 10. A variance of 24.24 square feet of the sign area on the canopy. Code permits 15 square feet. Applicant requests 39.24. And a variance to use more than the primary and secondary facade of a building for wall signage. Code does not permit. Applicant requests signage on 4 sides of the building.
Okay, sir, could you please introduce, or Ms.
Sure.
Ms. Wilson's finished, so could you please go ahead?
Yeah, and I can address them in the same order, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say how much we've appreciated working with the administration on this site. We've changed the site plan very extensively, and we're excited to be here in North Olmsted. This is the last part of our project, is the signage, so we appreciate your time here. So the first variance request is for the size of the monument sign. It's only an 18% increase in what's provided in the code, but it's also a sign, and it's related to the second sign as well, because there was an existing Rite Aid sign in that location, and we have, a dual branding with Dunkin' Donuts on that particular sign, so that's why it's a little bit larger than code. So that sign will have the Sheetz and Dunkin' Donuts monikers on it. The second one is, again, that sign is 10 feet in height, so we're basically keeping the same height that was there previously, and we get a sign on Lorraine and Stearns Road. The third, and that's only a 20% increase as well. The third variance request is for the signs that are going to be on the canopy. So the canopy is behind, if I can step up here.
Yes, go ahead.
The canopy is behind the store, and we'll talk about that for the, in a moment. And so the signs are, they're long, but they're not large. They're 9 feet by like 1 foot, 10 inches, something like that. And there's one, you can't really see it very well there, but there's one on this side and on the ends. And it says Sheetz, so it identifies it. And while I'm up here, if you want to put the third sign, or the fourth signs that are present, again, see, that's the Dunkin' drive-through sign that we talked about earlier. And that's 10 feet. And then the fourth sign variance. Go to the building. This is, yeah.
Sorry.
These are the signs that, there's one on each side of the building technically. But we have one on this side and one on that side. That's the main entranceway to the store. And then if you go to the other, yeah, we need a site plan to help here. There's another entranceway here, so there'd be a Sheetz sign above that entranceway. This is the main entrance, so there's 2 doorways coming in, so Sheetz is above that. And you're allowed 2, so we're really just providing them over the doorways. But as you know, this is an unusual Sheetz design because we pulled the building up to the street. We've got the canopies behind it. So we really think it's important at least to have one Sheetz identification sign on the building facing Lorraine Road. And so, again, these variances are not very significant, and given the nature of the project, we think they're all appropriate. We've minimized any other variances that we've been able to undertake in doing the project. And I think that's pretty much the explanation. If you have questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. For a moment. Ms. Wilson?
Nope, Mr. Quinn very well explained that. So.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Grow, any comment?
I have no comments, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. All right. Any further information you want to offer at this time?
No, just appreciate working with the city on this project. And signage, in this business, signage is important because it's an identifier. While we'd like to think that everybody wakes up in the morning to come to Sheetz, the reality is they're already on the traveling, part of the traveling public, so the signage is really important. And we tried to minimize what we're doing for this site, but we think it's all appropriate given the redesign of the entire site plan.
Okay. Board members, questions for the applicant or the city?
No further questions.
Okay. I have no questions at this time. Can I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion, case number 415-2026 Sheetz at 29,000 Lorraine Road be approved.
I second.
Okay. Discussion, please?
The shape of their building and the positioning of how it's turned around from a standard, what I would be used to at least, I don't think they're asking for a ton here. I'm a little concerned with the size. Anytime someone says they're putting a big sign up in the city, I have to question that. It doesn't really need to be this size. Can it be made to fit into our ordinances somehow? He's not asking for a large amount, but 20% can be a large amount if the sign's already big. But in this case, I'm gonna say what I'm seeing, the information that I have in front of me, that he's not, the size is not gonna be a concern for me at this time. So I'd be willing to, vote for the amendments as they're set up.
Let's go ahead now.
I don't think there's significant requests given the size of the business and, the location. The front sign they're sharing with Dunkin' Donuts, so I think it's appropriate that it would be bigger. Other than that, I'd be in favor.
Yeah, my opinion is that it's a highly traveled intersection. It's a major intersection in North Olmsted. The idea that it's a part of a small community where subdued signage or repurposed building design and facades should fit into a residential neighborhood and be almost invisible just doesn't fit the purpose of Sheetz or anybody who wants to be a Sheetz customer. The building needs to be properly advertised with, and they've done the right thing by putting the service island at the rear of the building and just allowing the service facility itself, the main building, to be out front. So I think the signage request is reasonable.
Agreed.
Yes. Okay, could I have a vote, please?
Mr. Ammons?
Yes.
Ms. Glotno?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey?
Yes. Okay, you're approved.
Thank you very much. We're
For
looking
the
forward to
variances,
getting it open.
3-0, and you work with the building department. Thank you. Okay, the last case on the agenda for this evening is number 417-2026, Slick City, 31369 Industrial Parkway. Could I have everybody introduce themselves by name and address, please?
My name is Eric Huber. It's regarding the property at 31369 Industrial Parkway.
I'm Jerry Hammerschmidt. I'm one of the owners of 31369 Industrial Parkway. I'm Jeff Hammerschmidt, partner with my son on Industrial Parkway.
Tony Cerny. I'm the architect for the project.
Okay. Thank you. And Ms. Wilson, could you introduce the case, please?
So this is a use variance. It's a use variance to permit an indoor recreation facility within the limited industry district. The proposed use is not permitted within this zoning district.
Okay, would you go ahead, Mr. Huber, please?
Mr. Chairman, can we make sure you swear the witnesses in?
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. Yes, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Eric Huber. I'm a local business owner. I operate Lake Erie Pet Food Company in the city of North Olmsted. I'm here today because I'm hoping to bring another business to the city. My family and I are excited about the opportunity to bring a Slick City to North Olmsted. For those who aren't familiar, Slick City is an indoor family recreation facility. It's built around large, like 25-foot tall slides, sports courts, and attractions that gets kids off their screens, experiencing real in-person play. The oversized slides are something that both kids and adults really enjoy, and the experience is designed for the whole family. We're here tonight requesting a variance to operate Slick City at 31369 Industrial Parkway, bring 30 to 40 jobs to the city, and activate a new building that has struggled a little to find appropriate tenants. The building has very high ceilings and large open space, which is required for our business and not found in other places in the districts here in North Olmsted. I'd ask the board to consider that nearby communities like Avon, Westlake, and North Ridgeville allow similar indoor recreation facilities in light industrial areas. We believe it's a good fit for this location here in North Olmsted. I'm joined here by the building owner and the architect, and we're here to answer any questions you have.
Okay. Ms. Wilson, do you have any comment from the city, please?
The only thing I have to add is before Max left the city, he was working with them on this project, and once he had gone, I was just here to try to assist them through the process. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, Mr. Grow, do you have any comment on this particular case?
I do, sir. Thank you to the board. This is a different than what you normally would hear. You hear cases that are the area variances all night long. Side yard, front yard, height, lot coverage, all that good stuff. That's not what this is. This is a use variance request, which is not common. In the standard for consideration is different, right? The other one is practical difficulties. The standards you can run through. You've seen the 7 standards before. This one is called unnecessary hardship, right? And to give you an example, some recent decisions, unnecessary hardship results. Let's take a step back a minute. Again, this is in the industrial parkway. I think that was mentioned.
Right.
That it's currently in a building that was constructed. I think the submission says it was constructed in the past couple of years by the current ownership group in the industrial parkway. But unnecessary hardship results when there's, and I quote, no economically feasible permitted use of the property because of the characteristics unique to the property, right? Stating the land would be more valuable if it had a particular use is not something that would sustain a variance, right? And in other words, looking at recent decisions, the evidence that you would receive would show that the property is unsuitable for any of the permitted uses as zoned, right? What are the permitted uses as zoned? Those were listed. So on your submission,
Yes.
In the limited industrial use, those are the permitted uses that are here. So the question is that the property's that the property's unsuitable to any of the permitted uses listed on this, right? It's also you should notice if the hardship was created. That's an important thing to give consideration to, right? The unnecessary hardship's peculiar to the property. It's not something that's general to the neighborhood or community. So it's something about this particular location that would call into question and create a unnecessary hardship that would render it no economically feasible use, right? I think that's all that I'll say for now, but I'll be happy to answer questions from you as you proceed. I just wanted to point out that it's a higher standard than a practical difficulties. Unnecessary hardship is, and it's on purpose, because the practical effect is it doesn't rezone the property, but it comes as close to it as you possibly can, because then it would fall into a category other than what the traditional industrial permitted uses would be, right? So it's rightly a higher standard, and it's a pretty high standard, but I can answer those questions as we go about the application of the standard, all right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grow. I'd like to ask all of you to go ahead and, in light of Mr. Grow's comments about the standards for a use variance, I'd like to ask you to go ahead and further explain to us why the need for this variance. Could you step up to the microphone so that we can properly record?
Hope you guys are doing okay tonight. The biggest issue that we're having in regards to the avenue that we're going down is that, we're trying to bring a tenant into North Olmsted that is willing to sign decades-long leases. And the only sticking point to bringing this tenant into the city is the zoning that we're dealing with here. There is no other space that they could potentially move into based on the current zoning. It's just the spatial requirements are not met. So therefore, if we are unable to make it work in this space, not only us, but also the city of North Olmsted loses out on a 50-job tenant for 15 to 30 years. And so that's kind of the reason why we're here, trying to figure out the best way to bring this tenant into the city, because it's mutually beneficial for another North Olmsted business owner. We're also North Olmsted business owners, and we're just trying to do what's right, because we would hate to see another good business get lost to Westlake, ultimately.
I guess what I'd like to comment about this. Essentially, under your current zoning, you have a category called indoor recreational, which happens to be in the business use. That doesn't happen to be in the industrial use. And I think technically you're going to call Slick City an indoor recreational type of facility. But the reality is Slick City is different than the examples that the city code currently has for indoor recreation. They use things like bowling alleys and skating rinks, movie theaters, things like that. And the thing that really sets Slick City apart from those is the fact that it requires large volumes of spaces. It requires very tall spaces. Those kinds of spaces don't typically exist inside those business districts. Those business districts are really intended for mercantile offices, things like that. They get developed, they're relatively large buildings, but they get developed when they get to be tall. They're multi-story. Slick City doesn't fit inside those buildings. So even though you might call it an interior recreational space, it's different than what the code was intending for that. If you look under industrial and you have the allowable uses, it does have a category down there that allows you as a board to find other uses that aren't specifically listed in the code as being similar or equal to what's already allowed in a particular district. Can't call Slick City a manufacturing business, but other businesses that are allowed industrial are research, offices, things of that nature. Slick City really is very similar to the industrial people, primarily because it needs this large volume of space. It needs those high heights that you find in an industrial area. It needs those large, wide open volumes that you find in the industrial area that they can find. They've tried, they've been unable to find those anywhere in the business district, any of the B use groups. The industrial one is the only one that really meets those needs. So while we're talking about a variance for a particular property, we're really also kind of talking about finding a home for a use that really doesn't have a use. Because even though you have interior entertainment districts, they just don't really fit the same mold. They're just not the same kind of business as the bowling alley or the roller rink, which can fit into these lower elevation, lower ceiling spaces. And I do think your code allows you, because of the fact it allows you to go ahead and make a determination that a business, there's something about that use that's similar to what's already in that district. And I'm saying that that similarity is the fact that they need those heights and they need that volume of space in order to make that happen. So I think that's really, really why we're here, because there isn't another solution for them. And the variance is really going to the building, but the variance is really intended to address a use that really is not currently addressed in the way your zoning code is written. And that's kind of what your job is to kind of make that determination. And that's what I was saying.
If I may.
Yes, Mr. Grove,
Thank you.
please.
Just a couple notes on that. While a similar use determination might be something, another method to address this particular issue, it's not a method that you can use tonight because we're here on a variance request, which is a distinct, separate request from a like and similar use determination, which is another process altogether. It might end up here, but it's not a determination that you would be making now. But I also wanted to comment that under the zoning code, an indoor recreation is permitted in mixed use. And it's a conditional use in B1 and B2, and it's permitted use in B3 and B4. There are a number of locations within the city, it really, frankly, from North Ridgeville to Fairview Park, it either as a conditional use or a permitted use, where that type of an indoor recreation could be accommodated. It's not listed as a permitted use in industrial district or a conditional use. And again, that's why there's a place for it, but that's not the place under the current code as written. I just wanted to point that out. But more specifically, I wanted to point out the similar use determination is not, it's not your province tonight. It's a different issue altogether. I go back to the original standard that I told you, you know, about the no economically feasible permitted use of the property because of the characteristics unique to the property. Is really the kind of the focus of what your thoughts should be. Not the like and similar use determination. It's a different standard. It's not docketed. It's not applied for. And it's not something you should do.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yes, sir. Floor's open.
Just to go to his point about you know, the issues that we're having with the specific building. Just so you guys know, we've had that building up for lease for almost 3 years now. We're not completed with the construction site. We're almost finished. And in those 3 years, we've only been able to land 15,000 square feet out of a 65,000 square foot building. Okay, so we've been struggling to fill it based on what we are dealing with. So having a tenant come around that's you know, is not easily adapted, but we're trying to, you know, is a big deal for us economically.
I just wanted to mention that, you know, when we started this process, when Eric first came to us was in October. And at that time, we had asked Eric to, you know, that's his job to, you know, come to you guys, to the city, and see what we can do. He came and talked with Max Upton and talked to the city about it. So, you know, with his initial response was that, you know, it's something that he felt that he could work with the city to get it to be a usable thing. So we proceeded to work on all the legalese and what have you, and you know, and in amongst getting that concluded, you know, Max left, and here we are. So we were missing a viable part of what he was thinking of that he could do to help us. In the way that he could see the, you know, the use working in the city in this location. Just wanted to say that. And with that also being said, I know I've talked with you know, the other another prominent person on Industrial Parkway who owns a good bit of property there, and he's here tonight, and he's not opposed to, you know, improving this type of thing for the Industrial Parkway, because other cities are allowing it in industrial parkways as well. So it'd be a good thing for the Industrial Parkway to be adaptable for the future uses that we're seeming to get you know, a lot of inquiries about. So yeah, we've had some people talk to us about a rock gym because of the height of the building again, as another kind of thing. And the other thing too is, you know, it doesn't really affect any of the industrial other properties on Industrial Parkway. You know, we have the parking, we have this, you know, the ability to make traffic flow nice and easy, and it doesn't really obstruct anybody's use in any way. So, just I'd say.
All right, I think we'll open the floor to asking our board members if they have any questions of you or the city representatives.
I'm not sure actually who is. I'm going to open this question up to anybody who has any information for me. But it looks like you're dealing with about, how many other units, I guess, are in this building with that you're proposing to take part of?
So currently it's a 65,000 square foot building. We have 15,000 already allocated, which leaves 40,000 left to go, and of which we would probably not do less than 4 or 5 at the max. But we, if Slick City would come in, if we were able to make that work, which, we have a signed lease tenant, based on, how we were able to get through this. They take up 25,000, so it leaves us, well, do the math, 20,000 square feet or something left over. So at that point, if we were able to get Slick City, we're looking at most likely 1 more tenant, 2 at the max, but we're trying to keep them a little bit bigger.
Okay, so but you have no tenants at this time?
None.
So what I was concerned with was you're bringing in families, you're bringing people, you have neighbors that might be zoned for something that might be more hazardous to them. And so I don't know what, if that takes into a play or not, but if we have a recreational place which is designed for, to bring, families in, and then we bring somebody else in that's dealing with chemicals, or we're dealing with
Totally.
something else, then we've got a problem, because then the other people they don't need a variance. They're already doing what they're supposed to be doing.
True.
So we need to consider that type of thing.
Which, if you don't mind me to interject real fast, that is something that we have considered, and that is part of what our lease with Slick City, is that we are, by onboarding them, we've agreed not to add any other recreational facilities or anything that would potentially compete with their business, number one. Number two, we've agreed that we're not going to have any other evening occupant businesses, because again, that's all of their business, and we don't want to get afoul of the parking. And then number three, that exact provision about hazardous materials, ADA, OSHA kind of standards are all in there. So, we are very cognizant of the fact that it is zoned industrial, which could bring, a mechanic shop or whatnot. But with us, hooking up with Slick City and having the ability to have 30 years, we were willing to make some concessions on limiting the future use of the building while they're tenants.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Grove.
I guess I wasn't going to bring this up, but that declaration compels me to. You have a tax abatement agreement with the city of North Olmsted, correct? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. And that obligation requires you to create full-time jobs here in the city of North Olmsted, right?
From what I understand, it's jobs or a dollar value per job.
Okay. But this lease agreement, you're taking potential tenants, and again, it's been a couple years, and we're into this couple years of this tax abatement agreement, correct? Yes.
Well, the building's not finished constructed
Okay.
yet.
All right. You have at least some tenancy in there right now.
None yet. We have a tenant signed up, and we're doing the build out currently.
But you're taking potential future tenants to fill your building off the table.
Yeah.
And you're not going to allow a number, I assume, a number of the various permitted uses in this district would no longer be eligible to rent at your location based on this.
Correct. And the reason that we're not concerned with that, with this specific tenant, is because between the tenant that we currently have and this tenant's most conservative payroll, we are more than the correct ratio of floor space to job creation. Go ahead. Sorry.
I interrupted. Forgive me, please.
No. So I was just saying, like, in terms of us looking at it as businessmen, we're trying to stay ahead of what the abatement requires. And currently, if we're able to get them with the current tenant, we're ahead of it by 30%.
And the jobs, I've heard 30 to 40, and I've heard 50. So I've heard three numbers tonight. Right. A range of 30 to 40, and I think you said 50. Right. So he would obviously know if he's bringing it to town. These are full-time jobs. Are these part-time jobs? And how many jobs do you anticipate having at the site?
Yeah, it's a mixture. So there's probably 5 to 6 full-time jobs and maybe 30 to 40 part-time jobs. So 50 is not a bad number.
Thank you.
And using the current tenant that is already under construction for their build-out, there's a good, I believe there's 20 some jobs there as well. So that's where the additional jobs are coming into play. So the dollar value is there, but we're a tax abatement is something. Isn't this something different than what we're here to talk about?
It certainly is, but
Okay,
but you mentioned removing tenancy options from the facility based upon what you're doing here by saying we're not going to allow during the evening hours, or we're not going to allow what could otherwise be potential tenants.
Yeah.
Because of your tenancy with this, and I just want a clarification that that's what you were doing.
No, yeah, Michael, I appreciate it. But that you're exactly right. And like as businessmen with a tenant that is, so backed up by corporate, backed up by who they are, what the business is, backed up by the leases that they're willing to sign. I mean, these guys are willing to sign a 30-year lease, for the city of North Olmsted. So if that's, if we're talking about 50 jobs, $500,000, of payroll every year, that's a lot of money to the city of North Olmsted. So as well as, helping us lock in the abatement, making sure that the building is successful over the long term, that's the concession that we kind of have to make to be able to get such a strong tenant. And believe me, if we didn't believe in Slick City, we didn't believe in the tenant, the fact that he's a North Olmsted business owner, the fact that we're also a North Olmsted business owner beyond this deal right here, was just a win-win-win for us. So we are here because of that. And if we didn't believe in Eric and the company and the fact that he's already here in North Olmsted, we probably wouldn't even be entertaining this, to be honest with you.
In regards to other businesses, we are open. We're not limiting. We're looking at all opportunities to come to the city. We asked our realtor to be here tonight, so he can maybe speak in regards to all the different things that he has talked to. But there's been numerous that we've talked with, but it just hasn't worked out. So we have our eyes are wide open in regards to what we can bring to the city. We have a lot at stake, with the city, with this type of investment that we have done, and working with the city has been really nice. We own a bunch of other properties on Industrial Parkway in regards to your concern about hazardous and that kind of stuff. I can tell you, for my 15 to 20 other tenants that I have on the rest of the cul-de-sac that I own, they're all good businesses, and they've been there solid, and that's how we've been able to generate the businesses that we have and the amount of income that we brought to the city, and also generate the future tax abatement that we were able to estimate and be confident in being able to stand up and do. So as far as looking at this whole picture, we got to look at the whole picture of the, codes are nice, and guidelines are written, but life goes on, and with life going on, we have to see what today is bringing. In today's market, we're getting a lot of inquiries in for climbing walls and pickleball courts and all sorts of different things. But we're concluding that we'd like to work with this firm because it's a stronger, up and coming nationwide firm, and it has a great track record. He's also a person from North Olmsted, working here, and so are we, and we found it to be a good fit. And the fact that other cities are allowing something similar in their cities, why do we not have it on our industrial parkway as a ability to accommodate as well? It's something that is in other cities and their industrial parkways. Why can't it be in our city and our industrial parkway? Is where we're at. We have a lot invested, and we don't want to give something to the city that we're not going to be proud of. I've done, basically the whole cul-de-sac, and I think I've done a good job bringing it to the city and representing it well. And I think, where we're going and what we're doing is another good representation as well, and it fits because of the use and of the specific need of what they require. And it's a nice, clean operation.
Go ahead, Mr. Evans.
So, my concern is that obviously Mr. Garreau is 100% correct on everything he said. Building and zoning ordinances are put in place for a reason, and we don't take lightly that we can just change them because somebody thinks they can or because it would be a good fit. We have to consider other issues here, including what could happen in the future. And as I said, I would hate to have a business move in that would be in conflict in some way due to the fact that it could bring residents of the city or area into some danger or into some other so it's just some unforeseen circumstances because we're not you're asking for us to allow basically a residential or the general population to come into this area that's designated right now for commercial or light commercial use. So we have to consider these things when we're dealing with this type of stuff because we have to take in what the city ordinances really say. So I mean that was my big question though is just to bring it up was how are we going to protect those people from what's going on with the rest of the area. And I'm assuming your hours are going to be mostly evening hours, nothing mornings, maybe
Correct.
Saturdays or something.
Correct. It's typically evenings and weekends when the other industrial businesses are not populated.
When you say evenings, what do you mean evenings?
Afternoons till 8 p.m.
So noon to 8.
We'll say like 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Something like that.
Okay. And Saturdays?
Probably 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same for Sundays.
I'm interested in the business concept. What are your projections in terms of the number of visitors that you would bring into that facility?
Yeah. Capacity is somewhat limited because the equipment is large. So it's not a.
I would have shown that picture if you had it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So this, can I bring something up to you guys?
Yes, you certainly may if you want to share something.
This is a picture of the layout of the the design in that space. So you can see the slides. See, there's large equipment in there, which kind of limits the amount of people. So we're not going to have a ton of people in there.
What are your ceiling height requirements for this equipment?
That equipment requires at least 25-foot ceilings. I think we have 26 to 31-foot ceilings in the building that we're proposing. So occupancy is somewhere around 200 ticketed individuals. There might be a few more that are not ticketed, so it might be 250 individuals in that place.
Okay.
We need,
Were these pictures presented with your original application packet?
they weren't available then.
Okay.
This is
Do you mind if we take them and present them as exhibits? Okay. Let's include these for the rest.
Those are the designed for that space drawings for specific.
Okay. If there's anything that you wish, other than this or what's already been presented, if there's anything else you wish to present, we can include it in the packet.
The only other thing to consider might be like there's plenty of parking in this particular space. So I have a document that kind of just shows some of the parking. You want to take a look at that?
It's fine, sure.
That just shows that we have enough parking for the industrial tenants and Slick City tenants. We would need
Go ahead.
between 75 and 80 spots. Busiest peak usage.
Okay, I did notice also in your information packet that Slick City, if approved, would provide some sort of food service for its customers.
Correct, like limited concessions, like a concession.
And what does that mean, sir?
It's a quick serve concession cafe, like some air fryers and a conveyor oven for pizza for birthday parties.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Do you anticipate an alcohol permit?
Not anticipated, no.
Well, that was my next question.
Sorry.
Actually, but Frank, thank you for preempting.
Well, I guess, do you anticipate it? Do other locations utilize alcohol permits
No.
for?
Not that I know, not that I'm aware of. It's a family activity, it's not really a adult activity, so it's not something we intend to do,
Okay.
or has been done in other locations, actually.
Are there any other questions? May I ask my fellow board members? Does anybody have any other concerns for the applicants?
I don't think so. The parking was one of the questions. Even with the limited hours, like we're talking 5 hours a day, you still anticipate that many jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
these, we anticipate that or more. I might be underestimating those jobs. Generally, there's some part-time jobs. It's a good opportunity for younger people to have jobs in the city, either whether it's just out of high school or college-age kids that can help with the part-time needs of the park, plus a number of full-time management positions.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just?
I may have another question. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to kind of summarize a few things. I want to say, first off, I mean, they're here primarily not just kind of on a whim or because they've been working by themselves. They came here a while ago working with the city, talking with Mac Upston, talking with the mayor. Both of them were very positive and were very supportive of trying to make Slick City happen in this particular location. As has been stated, this kind of a business, I was trying to say before, it is an interior entertainment facility, but it's not like what you're using as examples in the zoning code now. I don't think it's the same kind of interior recreational business, and I don't think it necessarily falls, even though you allow those kinds of uses in the business district or the mixed-use district. Those districts don't have the kind of facilities that meet the needs of this kind of interior entertainment facility. And I know there are other communities in the area. We've been associated with a business over in the Avon area where it was not the same thing as Slick City, but it was large apparatus, brought in kids for birthday parties. They climbed on ropes and did the zip lines and all sorts of things. Same kind of facility. It was a very large, it had been originally, it had been actually a storage facility for boats that was no longer functioning. That large space worked out very well for them to bring in all that apparatus. They needed that kind of volume, that kind of height to make it happen. There is not that kind of space unless you are in the industrial districts. It just doesn't exist. And so to go ahead and say they can't go in this location, you're really taking a business that really isn't defined in the code and saying they can't come to this community. So you couple with the fact that both the planning director that was here and the mayor were very supportive of seeing this business in this location. It was the mayor's office that directed them to come here to the BZA requesting a use variance. I had actually stressed very hardly that they should try to do the similar use thing, but the mayor's office said they really should be coming here for a use variance on this.
I want to jump in here.
Yeah.
And that's for the purpose of, because Max is no longer here. So, we came to Max in October And I came to him and talked to him about it, and Eric, talked to him about it, and we had, favorable outcome in regards to that it is something that the city would consider under a similar use, and therefore we should go down this road and incur the amount of time and money and investment that we have since October till now, and then when we're ready to come to the city, Max leaves. I even talked to Max before he left, and he was still leading me down that it was a good thing, and that we should be able to get approval, and it's something that we should advocate. He even passed the phone to the mayor while I was talking to him on his last week, 2 weeks before he left, and that he was going to, he asked that Eric, do some submittals at that point, and get it in, so that we could, try to have everything wrapped up and not even have to come to the board, because it was going to be able to, in the code, it says that the community development director can, bring to the mayor.
It's
I'm
BZA.
losing my thought here.
Basically, the process would be, if it was a similar use, Max would have represented to the board that he thought this use qualified as being similar within the thing. I understand we're not here on a similar use thing anymore. But the
Okay,
reality
but
is
gentlemen, Max is not here to testify to that.
I understand.
Unfortunately, nor is the mayor, may I add, okay?
Yep.
We can only work with the facts as they are presented
Yes.
and, deliberate, with our concerns, which we haven't expressed all our concerns at this point. But, I wanted to make sure that each board member had ample opportunity to ask you questions and to ask the city questions. I may have one or two more questions myself, and I would like to ask Ms. Wilson if she has any recollection of conversations with your planning office and your director and this group.
I mean, with Max not being here, yes. I mean, I've had conversations with him about this specific business in the city. So yes.
And is there any direct information that you would relay about this issue?
The only
Just to be clear, Mr. Chairman, she's not testifying.
Right.
So she's not, but where she's providing testimony, but she's not really a testifying witness.
Right.
She hasn't been sworn in.
She's not sworn in. She's not really.
I mean, if you want to ask a general procedural question, it would probably be appropriate in terms of what somebody else might have said, or we kind of run afoul of the same thing that irritated you a minute ago.
Yeah.
In terms of, I'll let you finish. I mean, it's certainly your meeting, but
Yeah. Well, I just wondered, if there was a point of input, where you recognize officially that, this matter has to come before this board rather than being handled within the purview of the planning director and the mayor's office and city council, for example. So procedurally, as Mr. Groh has suggested, and that as they've suggested, to your best knowledge, from where you sat in the process.
So is procedurally, so procedurally we received the applications in, and they are reviewed to see if this business is permitted in a business district.
Right.
If I can't clearly make that determination, I go to the director. I have to ask the director. There's certain things that I am not allowed to make decisions on. I am not a director. So
Okay.
He would give me better context and clarity, and if he did not know, he would then eventually go to law department to find out with them.
Okay, so that resolves why we're here tonight.
Mr. Chairman,
But
there's really they've mentioned there's more than one way to do it. It's just this is one of the ways you could rezone it. Not you, council.
Right.
That's one way. And there's more than one way to rezone it. Like and similar use determination would be another potential path, and then a use variance is a potential path. So there's more than one one way to do it.
Could I say something real fast? Do you mind? Sorry to interrupt. I don't know
No,
if
it's
you're
okay.
finished.
Yes.
I think to this point too, and part of the reason, I don't mean to bring up Max again, but part of the reason, we're a little confused as well is because Max was leading us initially towards the use variant, or no, the similar use variance, okay? He left, and now we're being told to do the BZBA, which is fine, which we're doing whatever we're being told. But that's where like the confusion lies because, Lynn has been awesome to deal with. Thank you, Lynn. With all this confusion, is initially we said, hey, we're here to try to get this similar use interpretation. How do we do this? And we weren't able to get a clear answer to that. And the answer that we got back was, well, we just need to go through the BZBA. And so that's kind of what we did.
Mr. Chairman, I think I can maybe answer that is because an integral part of the similar use determination is our director, which we don't have.
Right.
So
there
that's
you
probably
go.
why you ended up coming this route.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an easier route.
Right.
But that's probably how you ended up here. I can't speak for other people, but I can only surmise.
Yeah, and there was mass confusion. I mean, we were talking. Well, it doesn't matter. So the point is that's kind of how we got here, and we've been talking with Lynn and to Mike Burns about the new economic director, which I understand is coming here forthwith, next week or something. So.
Yes. So at this time, I believe I'd like to close all the questions and the discussion so that we could deliberate here.
Mr. Chairman, will there be a motion made and then deliberation?
Yeah, yes, right. Could I have a motion, please, then, on the issue?
I am
second.
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion for 4172026 Slick City at 31369 Industrial Parkway be approved.
I second.
Okay, with that, then we will deliberate the issue, okay? And who would like to start?
Well, if you don't mind.
So, as I understand, there's still plenty of issues to work through. I also, because of my daughter, I also frequent quite a lot of these facilities. So I can think of a handful of examples that are located in unconventional spaces because of the requirements that can be found. So I think we talked through the parking situation and, additional possibly high-risk businesses that could go in there. Personally, I would love to see a new business come to North Olmsted to an empty building that's just sitting there not generating any incomes and any jobs to the community.
Right.
So, all in all, I would be in favor.
Okay. I may have a different viewpoint than one or both of you, but when we began examining this issue, these applicants have come before our board, and our, if you would say, our administrative domain, our hearing domain, okay? And Mr. Garreau and his counsel to us has pointed out two important issues. One, the use variance requires the demonstration of a hardship, okay? So the applicants are required to demonstrate a true hardship as to why they need a use variance, okay? So we need to consider that one. And number two, there is the procedural or method somewhere within the government of North Olmsted to consider a similar use, okay? But that's not before us to decide from what, I understand from our legal director's opinion, okay? That's not to say that there isn't a relief for the applicant through another avenue here, through the mayor's office and the planning director's office. But it's my feeling that it may not be totally within the purview of this board to offer them that type of relief because of the what I see as an insurmountable issue with hardship here. And I mean, if I'm a business developer or a business owner seeking an opportunity, if I'm going to invest money in an industrial park or in a land use project outside of an industrial park, okay, and then I of course conform to whatever those standards are for that type of zoning, then if I'm going to create a building that I'm going to populate with other businesses, whether it's commercial or industrial, recreational, you name it, okay, or apartments for that matter, then I'm at risk for my investment if I don't populate it or complete my project, you know, my vision. But that's not a hardship for me to be able to suddenly say, oh, I can change it by bringing in another use. I can, you know, I can simply change it, okay? The city has designated that zone for industrial use. If we place a recreational facility in the industrial use zone, and you know, I went around that building and drove around that several times, and there's plenty of parking. And yes, there are loading bays suitable for loading and unloading, shipping and receiving for 53-foot tractor trailers, which I am certified to drive and did drive for Federal Express Corporation some years ago. You know, an industrial shipping and receiving and dock area is no place for the general public. Absolutely nobody has any business being anywhere near it. And I feel we would endanger the public by allowing this facility to come in there. This usage, to me, is holding our public at risk. Young children like to run and play. They like to run and play inside, and when they get out of their cars in the parking lot, they can't wait to run and play and get inside. Truck drivers are very courteous. They're very, very careful. But you're talking about a massive piece of machinery potentially moving through any time of the day or night. We're talking about the possibility of hazmat on site, as you pointed out, Mr. Ammons. I feel it's a risk. Okay, it's a hardship that the city would be taking on in an industrial zoned area to permit, you know, a recreational facility like this to exist, or, you know, a high traffic retail environment, you know, an ice cream shop or something, you know. So I'm not in favor of it. I'm in favor of the applicant seeking other avenues to work with the city, or readdressing the issue if there's new information when a new planning director is on board. I don't feel that it's our purview to approve this.
Actually, I tend to lean towards exactly what you're saying, but for similar and both similar and different reasons. Actually, I don't know that I'm willing to get that close to changing the original intention that the city has set this area up for. You know, it would be the first thing. I mean, that's just sort of the biggest thing for me. That's the part that I see is really what's holding everything up, and the fact that it was if it was originally set up for something and was designed for something else. I mean, I get what they're saying. I get what Ms. Gladno is saying. Actually, I know that other cities around here have
Right.
permitted this type of thing in this, in this area. I visited a lot of them myself with my own children. But the fact of the matter is that what other cities permit is just not our concern right now.
Yeah.
We're concerned with this particular project in our city, in this location, with this zoning.
Right.
And what other people are due, what Max might have said before is just not what we can consider. It's not, it's just none of our business, basically.
I would add that there is an example of a recreational facility that is not within the industrial park, but is next to it, and that's the soccerplex at the west end of Lorraine. It's like right next to it, and
I've never been in there. Does that require?
it's in indoor soccer, and they rent party equipment for outdoor events, what have you. They've been in business for many years, and they adults and young people and kids all have their club activities in there. It's well populated, but it does not encroach on the industrial park next to it. Okay, it's a separate parcel with a separate entrance. I think there are other avenues where the applicant can find relief on the issue. I just don't feel that it's here. I don't know if they've gone to Great Northern Shopping Center to see if there's some type of a space in that particular development.
But there's one there already, so that would create competition because you're gonna want two places that basically do.
There is some kind of a recreational facility that I recall seeing, and that's true. But I just don't think at this point the city has within this board the right venue to solve this issue. It may be something that needs to go before our legal counsel's office in conjunction with the mayor's office and city council to make a determination. But we have zoning laws to either uphold or to permit a variance. And so if we decide to permit a use variance here, so be it. But if we decide not to, that's the decision. So, Ms. Wilson, could you ask for a vote, please?
Mr. Ammons?
No.
Ms. Glotno?
Yes.
Mr. Mackey?
No. The issue is not passed, and all I can do is suggest that as soon as we have a new planning director on board, that you get together with the mayor's office, the planning director, and Mr. Garreau's office for guidance on the matter. And the city can either come up with a change somewhere in the code or a method to allow you to do what you want to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, the next item that we need to consider is to have a motion to allow the absence for Ms. Schuler. Motion to excuse. May I have a motion to excuse?
I'd like to have a motion to excuse Ms. Schuler from tonight's meeting.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the motion's passed. There being no further business before the board, meeting's adjourned at 9:14.